All right, call to order for the December 11th, 2024 zoning board of appeals. Oh, you would, Joe?
Yes. Durstock,
Here.
Luch,
Here.
Puckwins. Mead,
Here.
Smith,
Here.
Swanson. Absent. Wakeman. Absent. Do you have a quorum?
All right, we need a motion to approve the minutes from the zoning board of appeals, November 13th, 2024. Could we get a motion?
So moved.
I'll make a second.
Question, Luch, second. Mead,
Roll call, please.
Durstock,
Yes.
Luch,
Yes.
Mead,
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
On our new business, ZBA 2024-018, discussion and approval of the 2025 regular meeting dates for the zoning board of appeals. Thoughts, anybody on? Same second Wednesday of the month.
Looks good to me. Yeah. Need a motion to approve it?
Motion to approve.
I would make that motion.
Motion by Luch,
I'll second.
second by Smith. All please, Luch,
Yes.
Mead,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Durstock.
Yes. ZBA 2024-017, public hearing for approval of a planned unit development for the properties located at 13000 and 13019 North Second Street. That's requested to be laid over to January 8th meeting of 2025. And I'll make a motion to lay over.
I'll second.
Motion by Durstock, second by Luch.
And roll call, please.
Mead,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Durstock,
Yes.
Luch.
Yes.
And old business, ZBA 2024-015, discussion and recommendation for a text amendment revising the Village of Roscoe zoning ordinance related to accessory buildings and accessory structures. Somebody want to lead that off?
I can go over kind of. So I basically just took kind of the stuff we talked about last month and the amendments to the proposed code changes that I wrote up and kind of just implemented everything that we talked about last month. So that including temporary structures such as, but not limited to, trampolines, movable basketball hoops as exempt from the definition of an accessory structure. Remove the draft language that allowed accessory buildings of 100 square feet or less to be built without the need for a zoning permit, and then granted that the building met the village's zoning requirements for the accessory buildings, and then took that section and then revised the accessory structures portion to allow more than 2 accessory structures for parcels greater than a quarter acre. It would allow up to 5 structures on a parcel greater than a quarter acre. Any less would be allowed up to 2 accessory structures. Added draft language that allows accessory structures and not accessory buildings of 100 square feet or less to be constructed without the need for a permit, as long as they're 5 feet away from any property line and not placed in the front yard. So, and then Joe and I had a conversation later about decks. So I kind of included detached decks as part of an accessory structure and not included attached decks as part of an accessory structure. That would be part of the principal building.
I think it goes to lot coverage then too. For the decks. I guess it would, because we're talking about accessory structures.
Yeah.
Anybody have questions or concerns?
I don't know if I'm reading this wrong, but it says may not be placed in the side or rear yards. Isn't that where you usually put a shed?
Are you looking at 517? Looks like 2.
Yes,
Accessory structures 100 square feet or less. may
be second.
Zoning permit. It may not be placed in the side.
You're missing setback maybe?
I think maybe that's not supposed to include the word not. So
Okay,
maybe maybe as a condition we should
yeah, because
strike
showing
that.
that way.
Yeah.
That's confusing.
Do I remember right? They're not supposed to be in side yards either.
No,
So that whole thing is kind of weird.
even if you take out the word not, it would just be placed
Yeah,
inside.
it's still not right.
Where are you guys
What
at?
section are you in?
It's,
15517.
yeah,
It's also showing on the application wrong, 015.
Where, I guess, what section is them? Sorry, I'm keeping up. So 517.
Mhm.
I mean, should it say, may not be placed in the side or front yards, probably, right?
Yeah. I
I'm
think
telling you,
that's-
the word not is wrong.
Oh,
It shouldn't be there, because if you read it without not, it's correct.
But that doesn't limit it then. Right?
Or is that the set? Yeah, I see it.
I see that's anywhere else.
Well, I guess
Well,
that's what you wanted to say.
A says they should not be
Yeah.
placed in the front yard nor closer to the front property line.
Mhm.
So this says they can't be in the front yard, the side yard, or the backyard.
We need to know where
Want
they.
to cover?
so the gist of that I'm taking means 5 feet away from the property line in. Because it can't be in the front, it can't be in the sides.
Yeah, so you're right if that not comes out.
Yeah, I think it should say may be placed in the side or rear yards. Or
Or I guess, or do you do it, I mean, it's the question, I guess, for ZBA too, is what, or do you do it saying not in the side yard or rear yard setback, the minimum setbacks? I think that's some of the issues we've had too, so I mean, 5, is it, a 10x10, right, 10x10 shed, we're talking about, essentially. Maybe it's getting rid of the 5 feet away from property line, or maybe it is, minimum at least 5 feet away. How about that, actually, yeah, must be at least 5 away from the property line, and may not be placed in the rear side yard setback. So that's gonna change too, so you've got that spacing, depending on the districts you're in too.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that's how I read it, I suppose originally, I probably missed the setback part, but.
Yeah, so maybe that's it, it's just missing the word
Yeah.
setback.
Yeah, I mean, that's a question for you, for this board though, I think that's what we talked about last time. So I'm guessing maybe you made that change while we were talking last time, 'cause I think that's what we talked about was keeping it some space away from, so you have a shed, I think you
Right.
brought it up actually, having a space, you have a shed, not wanting it right on the property line.
Right.
So this would say, even on districts where there's a 0 setback, which would be, I don't think residential probably at all, but there could be, at least get that buffer of 5 feet at the minimum. But then it's most smart to be probably 10 feet back from the setback. We mostly, probably set 10 feet back, so. I think you add rear side or rear yard setback.
So we've had people come for things that on a corner lot and want things in the side yard of the corner and not exactly behind the house, does this address that in any way?
Well, our code defines side yard, well, and so it does, sorry, to interrupt, I've been just too, but in our code, the side yard for the corner lots, we do address what is a side yard, what's a front yard.
Yeah,
So I think it would still probably apply to this, it just would be, you know, an additional restriction because you have two front yards essentially
Mhm.
on some of those.
you have done fencing along, those corner lots,
Yeah.
the higher
Yeah,
6 foot fencing.
I mean, this section is about when you do not need to come in with for a zoning permit.
Mhm.
So, yeah, you can put a 5 foot or 100 square foot 10 by 10 shed in your yard, but it can't be in the. It can't be in the side yard setback. So it can't be right on your neighbor's property line.
So does that language need to be cleaned up just a little bit, or is it fine just the way it is? Is that,
Oh, I think we'll add, I mean, if that's what we want to do, we'll add setbacks, rear side yard setbacks. We'll just add the one word.
Yeah,
Mhm.
And is everybody good with not having, just to confirm this, because I know this is a discussion a little bit, is everybody good with not having a zoning permit needed for like that 10 by 10 type of a shed in a residential district?
what's the fee for that? If you did require.
I think it's a zoning, I think it's probably, is it $100, I think? Or maybe not even, let's see, what's our zoning? I should know, I don't. Okay, offhand,
There's
okay,
a lot
but
of
I will pull it up.
10 by 10 is really just gonna be one of those little
yeah,
sheds you buy at Home Depot, right?
yeah.
Yeah. And actually, I feel like most of the sheds we get coming through are more than 10 by 10. They're usually up to the
Because
maximum they
10
can
by 10
possibly
people,
be.
They
Yeah.
just put them up.
Yeah. Yeah, and this would still allow that then. It
Yeah,
just would say that you can't have it right on your neighbor's property. I think this addresses some of your questions, Laura, too, last time about, you know.
Yeah.
Tools or square sheds or whatever.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's move on.
right.
Everybody's good with that?
Is there a motions and recommendation?
Are you guys looking for motions on this to
Yeah,
approve
so this is something we
tonight,
can-
or
this
is
is
this still just discussion?
I guess it's up to you. Did we publish, I think we published it for a public hearing last time and continued to this time, I believe.
Yep.
Yeah, for text amendment. So yeah, this is sort of the formal, still sort of that process. So you can obviously, if you want more changes, you want more discussion, you can lay over till the next committee meeting or ZBA meeting. Otherwise, if you want, you're ready, and you think it's ready to be sent to the board for their approval and their discussion, you can certainly make that recommendation as well.
Yeah, I think it's ready.
Just a minor text change.
But with
right?
that, yep,
Which, if it goes to them, it will already have it, it'll have that done.
yeah, we'll add the setback language onto it.
I'll make a motion to send this to the board for approval. With the text amendment corrected.
I'll second.
Motion by Smith, second by Lee.
Roll call, please.
Smith,
Yes.
Bierstock,
Yes,
Luge.
Yes.
Yes,
Send that on to
CBA 2024-016, discussion and recommendation for a text amendment revising the Village of Roscoe zoning ordinance section 15-55 and 15-409 relating to solar energy collection systems.
So this is similar to the last one, just took your feedback from last month and just added the reduction of the maximum height to from 12 to 10, and then under maximum height added some kind of some screening and fencing authority for the ZBA for part of approval of a special use for the solar.
I did have a question about fencing around a solar panel structure in a yard. And if I don't see it here. And maybe memory serves me that it was 1 foot shorter than the total height of the solar panel. No shorter than 1 foot higher. But was the panel allowed to be up to 12 feet? Or was it 10
The total
feet?
height,
Total
previously,
height?
you mean the current code?
No, what we want to make it. Yeah, but that would allow for higher fences than we allow.
I think that's where we added that language here about the screening. So it just says it has to conceal the system.
So this section does, yeah, still have that the fence shall comply with the fence code of the chapter. So yeah, then we get the screening portion was added into it.
So if someone already has a privacy fenced yard, they wouldn't necessarily need further screening.
As long as they were less than the 5 feet, right? 6
Yeah,
feet,
yeah.
5 feet,
Okay.
or, yeah, less than the height of the fence.
And so I think I'm okay with this, so I'm just asking a question. This means if you have a parcel that's under 2.5 acres, you have to have a fence and you have to meet the fencing requirements, and so therefore it cannot be higher than 5 feet, right?
Correct.
That's what I read too, yeah.
Yeah,
The solar panel can't be higher.
Right.
because
I
the
think that's
fence,
my-
because the fences can only be as high as 6, and they have to be a foot shorter. So they don't stick up higher than the fence.
I think that's what we sort of went back and forth last week or last month. I think we're
Right.
talking about, right? Like it was, do we want to have that residential districts? How high?
Yeah.
We want to see them? Yeah.
Yep, I like that. Can I ask a question though that I don't know the answer to? Maybe nobody does and I'm overthinking this. There's no like safety concerns, like a little kid's not gonna run up and get electrocuted on one of these things, right?
Yeah.
There's nothing above ground that's
Yeah.
right.
Oh, right, okay.
It's all below, yeah.
I just don't know.
Yeah, I don't
Just
know
making
anything
sure,
about
like, I would hate to see something, we take away the fence requirement and then all of a sudden safety concern.
Well, kids climbing on them, I mean,
Mhm.
I don't know anything about if they break glass. I don't know.
There is power there. The panels are DC until they go to a inverter, which converts it to 120, or I'm not sure exactly how that works, but there is power there. And
Okay,
if
yeah.
somebody touches the wrong wire, yes, you'll get electrocuted.
But it's not
Pretty
exposed,
sealed.
though. But it won't be exposed though. It's not
Not
exposed
exposed.
wiring. It's like, yeah.
Everything's usually in conduit, stuff
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that, so
Yeah.
it would take a lot for somebody to get electrocuted.
Are they inspected by electrical inspectors when they
Yes,
install?
the
Okay.
electrical, yeah. The fire department doesn't. We look at the site, but we don't inspect it. We leave that up to the electrical.
Okay.
And they're pretty, they're thorough, because it's all new to them, so they don't want to make any mistakes. So it's pretty thorough, so.
And that's the
We
county.
like them on the roofs and on the building, we don't like them on the ground, but the schools are putting them on the ground and everything.
Yes, the county inspects our villages like, yes.
That is I don't know where the safety comes in, you know, most of the ones that are ground mounted do have fencing around them, you know, whether it's for businesses and now it's residential, you could have a big lot that's open.
You could still be fenced, but your kids could still, you know what I mean? It's really not, as long as it's around the lot, that's, I think, what the code is. So if you live there, you can still get at them.
The neighborhood kids could climb on them,
Yeah, there's,
but it's not like a swimming pool or something where.
Right.
you can only protect them so much, you know what I
I
mean?
mean, they can climb on any structure, right?
Exactly.
As we're saying, we're not exposed wires, so yeah, it'd be the same sort of like your pool filter, I mean, there's powering out, all
Right.
sorts of things. like
Right,
that,
right.
yeah.
Right, no, I was just
Yeah.
concerned,
No,
I
no,
because
I
it's like
understand
an
that. Or is
electric,
it like,
like,
yeah, it's a
unit,
charge coming down, or?
it's not
Yeah.
something you're gonna touch and it's gonna
That's
shock
like
you, or
explode.
That's
like.
what you're saying.
It's,
Yeah.
it's glowing.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Is there some like, yeah, charge coming through a little bit, even just back up?
They say the batteries are the worst part of, which most people don't have. Because they only work when the sun is shining. Unless you have battery storage, and which are very expensive.
Well, I think
There's no
around
danger
here, they sell back to the power companies too, if they have us too much.
Yeah,
It doesn't just go, it goes somewhere.
yeah, it has to be with ComEd or whoever you're. Yeah, there has to be a transfer switching.
And we said 10 feet for the height, because I know that one that we approved was that 15.
Evan, anything else to add to that, or?
No, I think it gives you guys a lot of authority and kind of discretion, especially with that screening element. They have to really demonstrate to you that it's enough and that it works, and that's kind of what that variance was about with the one on Main Street. He had a lot of vegetation and things, so that kind of helped him out. But adding this, it gives you guys not just vegetation, but fencing, other types of fencing as well, or any other type of screening. So I think it's fair to the people that might be a little bit more secluded, and the owners that might have a larger property, but it keeps some good fairness for people who have um, smaller properties as well.
Well, and they all require a special use permit for the ground mounted. What this does is, at least if you have less than 2.5 acres, you're just gonna have to go along with
Right.
the fence policy that was already in place with the 6-foot fence and a foot under. So then we're only probably gonna see anybody with a larger lot, obviously with over 2.5 and they're still gonna have to get approval we're gonna still have a say as far as screening and.
Right, which is probably what we want, because we don't want somebody's entire
Yeah.
backyard to be solar panels, right?
This just kind of sets the parameters of what type of, you know, special people that are gonna be looking for a permit.
Yeah, you think of the bigger subdivisions, like Chicory Ridge, there's a lot of potential for really bad looking stuff happening.
Mhm.
So that fencing would help. They can fence there, so that's
Mhm.
good.
We ready to send it to the board?
If we got it,
I make a motion to approve.
I'll second the motion to approve.
Motion by Williams, second by Smith.
Roll call, please.
Turcott,
Yes.
Luge.
Yes,
Mead,
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
I ask another question.
Yes, sir.
Would you consider this one of the structures in the backyard?
Yeah.
I mean, so does it limit the shed if they want a shed or if it? I'm not, because I didn't hear that when it was,
Can you hear that, Evan?
Yeah, let me pull that up.
yeah, it's on here.
it doesn't affect me, but
Oh,
I.
it says an accessory structure does not include private solar energy.
Oh, no.
Right.
Okay. Disregard.
All right. I guess there's no public comment.
I'm trying to keep up my notes here. Apologize. When it's just note on this.
Well, and I guess under old business, did anybody have anything to? No? Nothing? We need a motion to adjourn now.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Motion by Mead, second by Luge. Turcott,
Yes.
Luge.
Yes.
Mead,
Yes.
Smith. Adjourns at 5:59 p.m. At 6 p.m. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.